In this video, we are going to go through the functions defined in the proc.c. The proc.c contains the functions basically related to the process initialization, creation, and cleaning up and all. Let's go through them one by one, and let's navigate through it. And the first function we will see is proc init. What this function do is like this is the first function which we call whenever a process needs to be created. This will initialize all the variables, like all things which needed before we need to create a process. The next function is proc getID. GetID is like similar to getPID or getPPID in Linux kernel, which we use. It is like it will return the process ID to us. This is how we define the function, and this algorithm is actually worst case of order of n square, and we can define it like that. And the other most important function is proc create, which is the main function which creates the process. Before calling this function, we need to have at least one function, that is at least init function should be there, which has a process ID of 1. And after calling the init function which we defined already in kmain.c, we need to call the process init function, and process create then needs to be called. And this process create will create all the things which we need for this creation of a process. And the final function which we are going to see is process cleanup. What the process cleanup exactly do is, it will close all the open files related to that process, and cleaning up all the VM mappings, and waking up its parent if it is waiting for that, and reparenting any children to init process, and setting the status and state appropriately, so that the process will end cleanly without any abrupt endings. And these are the main functions which we defined in the proc.c, and there can be much more functions we can define, and time being we will confine to these functions.